Hey, good morning out there, and welcome to Real Talk Real Estate. This is Dwayne Hines, and I am actually missing my right half for a few minutes. He's going to make this grand entrance. But today, if you haven't watched us before, I want you to, write this number down first, even though it's rolling across the screen, 713-256-8724. Write that number down because it's going to become really important to you. Today, we're going to talk to you about the process, okay? Some of these things that we say to you may be repetitive. You may have heard them before, whether it was from me or from somebody else, but real estate is just that. It is a repetitive business. So you have to hear these things over and over to sometimes to be made a believer. So today we're going to talk to you about starting your process. We're going to talk to you about going through your process and how it should end. Also, we're going to kind of break down and help you understand the difference between your FICO score and your credit content. Because here, all we do is the behind the scenes conversation on what makes your deal work, what helps you get into your home. And it's a lot more than a 620, a 740, or a 580 credit score. And I've said that to you before. So again, as we just kind of wait on my superstar today, I think he's late because I was going to put him to work. I should kind of throw him under the bus, but I'm not going to do that today. First of all, if you're out there, I want you to remember one thing. I always ask, what's the first thing you need to do when you're getting ready to buy your home? What's the most important thing? Now, a lot of people always say the number one answer for them is do something with your credit. Actually, that's really not the number one answer. The number one answer is make sure you have your mind set that you want to go through this process. But wait a minute, I think we have an Amber Alert. Can I feel it? Man, his grand entrance. Okay, my right hand, Damian Hughes, has entered the building. Don't see. He's anxious now. He got a lot of work to do. Delmo, can he come now? Can he come now? Take a break. Let me take a break so he can get here. We're gonna break just for a second so I can get some makeup done on him. Okay?
This is former Rocket Robert Reed.
This is Mel Hewitt of Athletes Unite.
And we want to talk to you about our new program and podcast. We're talking about former athletes who are doing a lot of things in the community.
Various athletes in various sports. Swimming, track, soccer, football, baseball, you name it.
Former and current athletes here in the greater Houston area.
All promoting wellness, health. All promoting that which makes us all better.
Of Edge Radio, truth still matters.
Okay, we're back, and we've had the makeup done. I want to introduce my right-hand man again and my co-host, Damian Hughes.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
I'm the second part of the double D's.
But it's still good to see you.
Okay, good to see you too. Hey, good to be seen, as they say.
Good. And see, I was telling everybody that the reason you were late because I was going to put you to work.
Okay, I thought I was in the makeup chair.
Well, yeah, but it didn't do much.
It ain't do much. Okay, I take that.
But listen, what we're gonna.
They say I woke up like this. That's what they
like
say.
That?
Yeah. I woke up like this, man.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Put me to work. What we got this morning for the people out here?
Look, we're gonna talk about the process. What I really wanted to go over with them was,
okay,
people need, we're trying to break down this process, and what I want to do, I don't want to do it from my end. What I want to do is is I'm going to start this off, and I'm going to let you finish it out.
Okay.
I decided on my way here, I was just going to, I was going to let you work today.
Okay, well, I am the worker, B. Behind the scenes, I'm the man.
So here's how the process goes. Typically, people start looking for a house, and they don't know what to do, whatever. They're worried about their credit score. So what I'm going to do is just fast forward from that and say they've come in, we've kind of done the introduction.
Okay.
Now we're behind the scenes, and when you're going through the processing behind the scenes of, and I'm gonna move this up farther and say. Even say that we've already gotten a contract, and now I've moved this from my desk and I moved it over to your desk. So behind the scenes, explain to them what the processing is and why. These are the things we want to talk about. Okay. How the processing is going behind the scenes.
So what's happening behind closed doors?
Yeah, and
in the mortgage office.
I need you to cover all three of these.
Okay.
What's going on? Okay. Why the DTI is so important? And most of all, why you can't do anything different from beginning of the process to the acceptance of the keys. I'm gonna move back.
Three great questions. I'm gonna start with question number 3.
Okay. Good.
Why can't you do anything while you're in the mortgage process? So when we initially approve someone, we're taking a snapshot of what your financial situation is in time.
Okay.
And based on that snapshot, we're going to approve you or not approve you. Okay. So if we look at that snapshot and we say, hey, you got a job, you paid your bills on time, and you seem like a solid, financially literate person,
okay,
we're going to issue an approval letter based on that.
Right.
Now, in the process, if you're not working, you stop paying your bills, and at the end of the process, when we do something called a credit refresh, when we take another snapshot at it and think they're not the same.
Wait, I'm confused. So what you're saying to me is you've already approved me, and we're going through the process. So what you're trying to say, and during that time I'm doing this, I can't go.
So great question. So if anything changes, that's going to change the snapshot that we've taken.
Okay.
So for instance, if you had a job when we started, and you don't have a job when we end, we can't lend, because how are you going to pay back the loan? And I know you may get a job in the future. I know something is down the line, but whenever we lend based on what's going on right now.
So what if now I'm going through the process, because I need to understand this. So I'm going through the process. I've been approved, but
now great question.
For me.
Great question. So I think I use a wrong terminology. You are approved contingent upon your financial situation staying the same.
Okay.
So I used the wrong choice of words. I just said approved. So you're approved upon certain conditions.
Let me give certain pluses and minuses.
Okay.
So you took the snapshot. I'm approved based on what you're saying.
Contingent upon
it staying the same.
Staying the same. Right. If you got a job, hey, keep working.
But wait, I'm finna throw something in here.
If you don't own 5 cars, don't go out and do it right now.
No, don't be trying to cut me off. You're trying to get ahead of me.
I didn't know where you was coming from.
Throw it in here.
Okay.
So now we're there.
Okay.
So what if I'm gonna give good and bad scenarios? So what happens? And because I mean, I know the answers, but I want you to say it.
Okay.
So we're in the middle,
okay,
but I get an opportunity at a job that pays more.
Great question.
But the only problem is I'm a nurse right now, and this job calls me to be an administrator in a different field. What happens?
That's totally fine. So as long as I have 30 days worth of paycheck stubs, then we're good to go. So if we're in the middle of your loan and we're supposed to close in 2 weeks, if you get a new job, from the day you got that new job, you've just extended that process 30 days. So if we had 2 weeks, now we're going to have the extra 2 weeks, because we're going to need 30 days worth of paycheck stubs of your new job.
So that new job that I've gone into, that I have not been there 2 years or any of that, you know, it's going to be okay, because we already have the 2 years of
So we need a 2-year work history.
Okay, right. We
Okay.
already have that,
Right.
but now we have the new job.
Right.
So the new job won't interfere as long as it is not contract. And if it's contract, now what?
Well, let me just say this. There's a million different scenarios
I just want
that we can look at.
I just want that one.
Because
I thought
people are W-2, they're 1099, they're W-2 on contract.
Mhm.
They may take. People are paid all different kind of ways.
Right.
So, without digging too much into it,
Don't dig.
if you got a 2-year work history,
Right. We
okay,
got
and you
that
just
already.
got a new job,
Just got a new job.
and you've been on that job for 30 days, we
Mhm.
can rock and roll to get you across that finish line.
Okay. All right. That's
Okay.
all we need.
Right.
So the new job.
But now you just extended.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. The
your
new
process.
job. The
You
new
just
job.
extended
If you were going to close on Friday, and QC sees that we have a new job, now we've extended that because they're going to want 30 days of
30 days
pay.
worth of paychecks.
They're going to want 30 days of pay. Okay.
Right.
Now that's a real easy thing that people do, because a lot of times people, like I've had clients that say, okay, well, Ms. Hines, I am about to switch jobs, but it's going to be more money, or I'm getting a promotion. That's always fine.
Which is fine,
Yeah.
but you need 30 days worth of paychecks.
Yeah, yeah. Now that's 30 days of pay stub if you leave that particular field and go to another field of work. But if you're still in the same field, in other words, I'm a nurse now, okay, but now I become the DRN. I'm director of nurses, which simply means I'm still here. I just got more money. That doesn't apply, right? Or no?
Same job,
Same job, same
Okay.
place. Haven't
then
left.
you just got a raise.
Right.
Then we're fine.
Right.
Right. But
So-
if you switch job, which means
Yeah.
I work
But see, that's
for,
that's what I want them to hear, because sometimes
I work
people,
for Baylor Medical. Now
Yeah,
I
now
work
you
to
went off.
UTMB.
Yeah,
That's a different
that's
job.
a different place.
For a different place.
Now
right.
let's touch on
Now you're saying what else are we doing behind scenes in the mortgage office?
because I'm finna throw this at you.
Okay.
I don't like for everything to come from me. I already know the answers, but I need you to stamp it, because you're the person that's passing out the check.
Yeah, I am.
So
I
so
am.
therefore I need them to hear this from you, not me.
Okay.
So what happens? What happens? I'm finna get you on this one. I'm about to get you. So we are about to close,
all right.
and we have gone through the whole process,
All right.
and so now
So
at the
we on the
end,
1 yard line. We're
we
about to
on
score
the
touchdown.
1 yard line,
Okay.
but
We got 4 downs. We got 1 down. How many downs we got?
we only have 2 left.
We got 2 downs. Okay.
But right at the end,
Okay.
buyer changes their position, because I'm using a case now that has reserves. I need everybody to hear this. So now, since we've said, well, we're not going to use that money, but we need to see it. So the
Okay.
buyer
You know
feels like
something.
it's
You
okay.
gotta do. You threw out a term. You threw out a term.
Oh,
reserve.
okay, reserve. I'm
You got to
sorry.
define that.
So
What does that mean,
reserves
Hines?
the reserve is a certain amount of money that you have sitting to the side that the underwriters want to see, but we don't necessarily have to use it. And
It's
they
like
want
your
to-
rainy day fund in a
Yes,
nutshell.
yeah, like a rain. In other words, they want to know that if something goes wrong with you, at least we have 3 or 4 months of payments over here.
Or if you get a flat tire, you can fix it.
That's your spare.
Your transmission goes out. Guess what?
Yeah.
You can get your car fixed, so you can make
Now-
it back and forth to work.
Now, what
That kind of
happens if, since they feel like, and we said, well, we're not going to use it, we just need to show it's there, then they decide to go and use some of that money. What
stuff?
happens?
Well, that means you're not closing. You're gonna have to replenish that money in a nutshell.
But you're not using it, so what difference does it
Well,
make?
keep in mind the first question you threw out my way. When we talked about taking a snapshot in time of your
Mhm.
financial situation,
So you're saying they
and
changed
your
stuff?
and your contingent, your approval is contingent upon all that being the same.
so
if
in
you
short,
change, if you go out and spend all your money,
in short, what we're really saying is, when we start your process, we work from the credit profile that we took that picture of. And from that credit profile, we are building your profile to get you underwriting ready.
and let me say this: whenever we issue that approval letter, Hines, if you read the fine print at the bottom, it says contingent upon your financial situation staying the same. It does say that. That is on there.
And so here's what it seems to happen is that a lot of times the buyer being excited about, being in position to own a new home, they feel like certain things they do will be okay because it's not that big or it's not that much or whatever it is.
Everything is big.
But this is what I stress to my clients to try to help them. Please understand that if you do anything, while whoever is helping you with your home purchase, if you do anything differently from what was going on when you first started that process, you have changed the blueprint. In other words, if you went into a house to buy with one floor plan and then you knocked out a wall or moved, you just changed the floor plan. Okay, it's not the same house anymore. Okay, it's the same from the outside, but it's not the same from the inside. And this is what we're talking about, behind the scenes, working on the inside.
Now, another thing is this, and this is just in a nutshell what we're doing in the behind the closed door too. We're verifying everything that you told us.
Everything.
So if you say, hey, I bank with, a credit union.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes, we're making sure you bank with that credit union. If you said, I have a 401k with XYZ company, or I have this or that financial instrument, behind the closed doors, we're verifying everything that you've told us. Now, and we just don't verify it once. We're going to verify it probably about 3 different ways.
Even in the end,
confirm and validate whatever
you're saying. Let me throw this in to people out there that are listening. And because I'm just talking about what people do. Okay? This is 20 years of watching this, so I know people do this. Okay? A lot of times people will get a paycheck that are not doing direct deposit. They'll get their paycheck, they'll cash their paycheck, and then they will go and do whatever they need to do. Okay, that's fine if you're not in the process of buying a house. If you're in the process of buying a house, what you should do is take that check and deposit it into that account and then draw that money, because this is a paper trail. This is how.
Whenever we're looking at it, I'm glad you said that. Yeah. We are looking at a paper trail. And all we're doing is just documenting that you are financially sound to purchase this home. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So the easiest way to do that is make that deposit so that they can see that each month, each pay period, this is what goes in. Now, what you do with it after you put it in, that's totally up to you. But the paper trail shows that on a monthly basis, this is how much money goes into this account. This is your paper trail, okay? This is what they're going to be looking for. This is what I'm going to ask you that in your interview.
And remember, when it comes to this, there's a saying that you can take this saying home with you. If you guys can't put this on back of the board or put it on the line that's feeding as people are looking.
Marquee.
Oh, the marquee. Yeah, put it on the marquee.
Yeah.
If you can't prove it,
we can't use it.
You cannot use it.
We can't use mattress money.
If you can't prove it, you cannot use it.
Look, you can go get a reward for finding some money and giving it back, but if you can't show where it
came
if
you can't prove it, you can't use it. So the paper trail that Dwayne was speaking of is very, very important. We have to be able to prove whatever it is.
Now, this is for the new home buyers, people that are just, you're contemplating buying a home and you need to know what to do. If you're not using traditional banking, because I'm staying on the finance now, next week we can talk about the front line, the contracts and things like this, but today we want to talk about the banking. If you're not using traditional banking, meaning if you're not at one of the local banks around here where you can walk in, get a
something
out,
there. I'm glad you brought that up too. There's people get paid on like a debit card.
Yeah. You listen. If you're not using traditional banking, we have a lot of new banking systems,
different financial institutions out here,
and it's all about convenience. But you have to understand if I don't care what system you're using, you have to be able to track it. if we cannot track it and you cannot get it in a printout, it can't be put in writing, we can't see it.
And this is what I hear a lot too when I have you know, some of the members of my staff, and I say, hey, you know, call, you know, Mr. Jones, Miss Smith, and we need a transaction history or we need a bank statement. And then they come back and say, well, Miss Jones or Mr. Smith said, well, they don't have it, it don't exist. One thing about finance
is it exists.
Everything is documented. If you walk into a financial institution, you're on camera. So let alone if you're putting money in and taking money out, everything is documented.
But now here's the problem with the new age of the so-called convenient type banking. It's not that you can't get this. It's just sometimes it's a little bit more time consuming, a little bit more difficult. And sometimes you may run into a situation where you don't have that much time.
Right? That can happen.
Yeah, where you don't have the time needed. And sometimes, just like Damon is saying, the buyer doesn't really know how to grab it right away. So if you're not using traditional banking, I don't care who you're working with, whether it's me, whether it's, you know, the Double D's, the Real Talk Real Estate, it doesn't matter who you're working with. This information will need to be shared, made advised, because that way you give the people that are helping you, you give them time to start processing and looking for that stuff right away.
Right. Rather
than last minute, you know, knowing that, you know, like some people say, well, they say they have to mail that to me. Do you really think that people are going to wait for people to mail you stuff?
Yeah, and then and just to make the process easy, if the underwriter is asking for something or your loan officer is asking for something, give them that information. If you truly can't give them that information, just be transparent.
Yeah. Because it's not us asking for the information. It's not the people on the front that really, be honest with you, because it's real talk. We really don't care. You know, I'm just being honest. If you produce it, that's fine. If you can't produce it, then that's going to be on you, because the underwriters don't know you from Adam. You're just paper to them. So if we can't give them what they ask for, then
what Hines is really saying is who makes the rules is, you know, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is HUD. Or if you're going through the VA, it's the Veteran Affairs.
Now don't get offended, because it's real talk.
Right. Or it's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Those are the governing bodies of the lending.
That's it.
Those are huge institutions.
So regardless of
he's
what,
just the messenger.
Just the messenger
that knows the guidelines. That's communicating the information.
So regardless
from
of
Freddie,
what,
Fannie,
regardless
VA,
of what
FHA
you may
guys.
think, regardless of what you may feel ought to be, should be, we simply, and I say this all the time, we have to take your situation and make it fit into underwriting guidelines. Okay? And I also say that this is teamwork. Damien loves this line, teamwork makes the dream work. I call it homework, because everybody that's involved in this transaction has something to do. The buyer, the lender, the realtor. We all have a job to do, and we should all be striving to get to one place. And that's to the closing table, and that's to get you your keys to your new home, to make home ownership a reality to you. And that's what we say, real talk, real solutions for all your real estate needs. So it's not about programs. You notice you don't really hear us talk about programs, even though we have access to all of them. That is after we've put you into home buying position, then we can match programs up with you if that's best for you.
Well, these are the tips that these are the teeth we're talking about in the home buying process.
We talking about the meat,
right?
The entree,
these are the things that are going to help you get that home. To help ease the pain of the process.
So listen, write this number down, because we're getting ready to leave you
because
next
it
week.
is a process.
It's definitely a process. 713-256-8724, and this is Real Talk Real Estate with Dwayne Hines and
Damian Hughes with the Double D's.
Double D's. Listen,
I want to go back from something from last show.
What?
and we was talking about putting butter on them on those green beans.
He's still on
I
the
looked that up,
bean.
man, and you know something.
nobody
There's
put
plenty of
butter
people
on.
who put butter on
They
green
not
beans.
from Texas. Where they from?
Well, you can get green beans a variety of ways. I mean, that's
He really wants
your
butter.
way is just
You're
your
in
way.
Houston,
I'm just
Texas,
saying.
and the majority of people do not get
I think we
green
need to do
beans
a
and put butter
poll
on.
out there with the people of
Okay.
who put butter.
If you put butter on your green beans, you know, hit us up on D Hines Realtor or Real
Yeah,
Talk.
let
Real
us know.
Estate
Are you doing butter?
Let us know.
or no butter?
713-256-8724.
What you putting on yours? You said bacon, Hines?
We will see you next week, and we'll continue the bean thing, okay? Have a good day.
All right.